This video provides a brief introduction to Stata syntax, do files, and log files. The information discussed here complements the details that will be provided during the in-class Stata labs. Upon completion of the Stata labs, you will have a decent handle on the basic features of Stata. We'll learn more advanced features throughout the course. One key advantage of using Stata is the ease at which you can find help to assist you when needed. For example, the built-in help function allows you to search for commands or topics and provides access to the Stata user manual. Searching for a command within Stata will take you to its associated PDF file and provide you with syntax and examples on how to execute the command. Online, you can find the official Stata user guides, which provide interactive examples for learning commands in Stata. UCLA also has plenty of useful material on the web. When in doubt, you can Google what you would like to do in Stata, and you'll find that many others have likely had a similar question. In fact, material from Stata and UCLA tends to appear high in the search results. One tip is to include Stata as one of your key terms and to keep your search terms simple. For example, if I want to figure out how to calculate descriptive statistics, my search terms might simply be Stata descriptive statistics. Much of our focus will be on inputting commands within a do file. This will require learning Stata syntax. Learning Stata is like learning a new language. When you learn English, you learn that words have to be in a certain order for your sentence to make sense. For example, in English, it's customary to first include a subject, then a verb, then an object. Take the sentence, Jack kicked the ball. If you instead say, the kicked ball Jack, the meaning of what you're trying to say is completely lost. So, in order to get Stata to follow commands, you must follow Stata's syntax. The syntax provides order and helps you translate what you want to do into a language that Stata understands. If you don't follow the syntax, Stata will give you an error code. Most of Stata's commands share the syntax shown here. The square brackets mean that something is optional, and a var list is simply a list of variables. Most commands accept prefix commands that modify their behavior. One of the most common prefix commands is by, which allows you to execute commands separately for each subgroup of data that you specify. If an optional variable list is not specified, all of the variables in the dataset will be used. If and in are used to restrict the observations on which the command is run. And options, which appear after a comma, modify what the command does. Each command syntax is found in the system help files and the reference manuals. Let's take the command summarize as an example. Summarize is used to compute descriptive statistics such as the mean and standard deviation of a variable. Let's assume we have the variables miles per gallon and weight in our dataset. We can execute different variations of the summarize command depending on which optional statements we decide to include. If we exclude all of these bracketed statements and execute only the command itself, we would get a list of descriptive statistics for all of the variables in the dataset. If we execute the command followed by the variable names mpg and weight, we would see descriptive statistics in the results window, but only for mpg and weight. Furthermore, if we want to restrict our results only to those cars that have miles per gallon greater than 20, then we can add a conditional statement telling Stata to summarize miles per gallon and weight if the car has miles per gallon greater than 20. Instead of inputting commands such as summarize in the command window, it is helpful to input commands in what's called a do file. Do files allow you to keep track of the commands and the order in which they need to be executed. Do files enable you to save commands so that you can go back at a later date and replicate your results simply by clicking the execute button at the top of the do file editor window. Stata will execute commands in the order in which they appear in the do file. Another benefit is that you may include comments, shown here in green, throughout the do file so that you can recall why you are executing various commands. Believe it or not, even if it's only been, let's say, 1 week since you've seen your do file, it will be difficult to remember why you've made certain choices. There are 3 common ways in which you can make comments within your do file. The first method, indicated in gold, allows you to write comments that may take up multiple lines. This method is often used to describe the contents of the do file or even to suppress code that you no longer wish to be executed, as shown here. The last 2 methods are for shorter comments that appear on 1 line. You may use an asterisk to make a comment indicating when you are switching from one task to another. For example, when switching from dropping variables to checking for consistency among variables. 2 forward slashes can also be used to make comments that appear on 1 line. Using 1 asterisk, though, probably is the simplest way to go for short comments, but the method you use and when you use it is more or less a matter of preference. These commenting features may also help in creating headings to improve the organization of your do file, but you probably shouldn't spend too much time worrying about this, as too many comments can become a little bit distracting. Unlike a do file, which allows you to execute commands, a log file simply takes a snapshot of whatever appears in the results window during your session. When you execute your do file, for example, your comments and the commands you entered will appear in the results window, followed by the results of the command. For example, in this red box are the statistics obtained after executing the command codebook, along with the option compact. This log file was saved in text format so that the executed commands and their associated results may be accessed outside of Stata in a program such as Notepad. Remember, do files help you save and replicate commands. Log files help you review results that you have already obtained.